have a, special meeting to approve preliminary program budget estimates. And then what do I just start with that?
Yeah, and just turn it over to Jonathan with the review of the design.
That's
Yep.
perfect.
Nope, that's great. Again, we had a great committee meeting, kind of went and reviewed some of the preliminary, or the, almost close to the final concept designs, and this is the gateway into more detailed drawings, looking at going through the engineering, structural, mechanical, electrical, and so forth. And this would also be the way that we would start with the end users to dive more into these spaces with Kent and Michael and so forth like that. Just this evening, we just kind of wanted permission to proceed, that this is the general direction that we'd like to take for our Highland High School upgrade with the associated budget. For sure, within the next, by next board meeting, we'll come back and have drilled down more into the numbers, and present maybe some bid alternates that we'll have available. Again, you can see the tentative budget that Bateman Hall, Mike and Shay have put together for us. And the existing alternates, there's another one, another alternate for a mezzanine above the commons area. That would be a really great space. So we need to get that number on there for the the board to see and approve and see how we move forward. But the architect has about 5 to 6 months, probably closer to 6, if they can get that much to finish the design concepts, and then get into construction documents that will be used to bid. So that's kind of what our action item tonight is, to say, okay, yep, we're headed in the right direction, with a lot of more details to be flushed out, but we feel good about the direction of where the design committee has made recommendations, and the drawings that we currently have.
Are we ready for a motion, or would
Any
members like to discuss?
discussions or thoughts?
I'm ready for a motion.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to approve the preliminary program budget estimates, and conceptual drawings with the alternates as listed. And this is there a motion?
I don't think they were listed,
It
but
doesn't have, there's not a motion listed, but if you look at the first.
it is. I hereby move that the board grant permission to move forward with the final draft of the schematic floor plans, conceptual drawings, and estimated program budget as presented.
Is there a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We would now, any opposed? Everybody said yes.
You're great.
Oh, well,
You're great. You're great.
You're good.
We're just gonna move on. We'd like to adjourn the committee meeting and convene a special board meeting for
Oh.
action.
That's what this was.
Yeah, we're already past that.
We're already
For
past
action for the,
MSP,
what page are we on?
that exchange,
There you go.
the last one.
To consider
No.
taking action to approve the revised land exchange agreement
Correct.
with MSP Capital after Jonathan presents.
Yes, so let me, I'm bringing this back in front of you. Again, it was after you approved it. This is currently at the county to be recorded. So our subdivision, so the 9.9 acres and the remaining 13, 14 acres is at the county. And so by recommendation of our lawyer and the survey and engineer, in that first paragraph, I could pull it up there. It just says that it needs to be Lot 1, Block 1 of our Olympus Junction subdivision. And then there's a blank there, and the motion would be that once that gets recorded with the county, we would put in the instrument number. That's the binding legal description for that Lot 1, Block 1 of that subdivision. The description that was in the previous version and currently still is the entire 23 acres, but we're just specifying. We specified the 9.9 acres, but now legally we're specifying what the legal description of that land is. And then the only other things is I pushed the dates back from the 18th of July to the 26th of July, to be able to have time to review that and so forth.
It
Since
says June, but we'll just assume that you'll change that to July. The agreement.
The agreement will be June 26th is what, because they'll do it. But then later on about the inspections, about closing, it talks about 30 days, and I put that as July 26th.
Okay.
So I'm hoping by, our goal would be by the end of July to have this all the way wrapped up and in our possession.
So just to be clear, the 9.9 acres is the portion that we are swapping,
That is correct.
and the rest of the 12 acres,
12, 13 plus acres, yeah.
12 to 13 acres is part of this agreement, but not part of the swap. The county, the agreement with the county.
It just created a subdivision of our property, yes, of the, just a subdivision of the two properties, so we could swap just the one property. And again, as we mentioned, on last meeting is, again, the value of the land across from Highland, we determined to be more valuable than this land on Olympus and Jerome, or Olympus Junction is what it was called.
And surprisingly, the appraisal came back, that it
Correct,
was
they were-
actually worth more.
Yeah, they were a little
The
close,
land over by
Yeah.
Olympus and Jerome.
acre for acre, but
Acre for acre.
we're exchanging a little bit more acreage than what we're getting because of the value of the land across from Highland. So the-
Is there, I'm sorry.
Nope, that was it.
I would entertain a motion to approve the revised land exchange agreement with MSP Capital LLC pending instrument recorder number, the blank,
Correct, we'll fill in the
from
blank.
the county.
Yep.
Is there a motion?
I move that the board approve the revised land exchange agreement with MSP Capital LLC pending the recorder instrument number coming
From the county.
from the county.
Yeah. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in favor. Any opposed? Any discussion? Okay, I don't know what they just did.
We
Okay,
got it.
Great,
this motion passed.
thank you for your
Motion
time
to
this
adjourn.
evening.
If there is no other discussion, I move that we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?